are making a lot of noise at AT&T Stadium.
Anything that moves between these lines, got to get dealt with.
They hand it to Pollard. He comes running out the right side. Deep to the post to Lamb. At the 5 to the goal line.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night is presented by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
It was tight from kickoff to the final whistle. Philadelphia wins this one 28-23 over the Dallas Cowboys in Week 9 of the NFL season. The 2023 first meeting between these two NFC East rivals goes in favor of the Birds. As we welcome you in to Cowboys Game Night from the Star in Frisco in the Globe Life Studios alongside the 6-time Pro Bowler, 3-time Super Bowl champ Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Youmans. Glad you're with us. Nate, it was one of those games where each play mattered. It mattered from the beginning to the very end. The Cowboys had an opportunity up to the final whistle to get it done, but they just didn't make that one play.
Yeah, they needed just that one play. It was a game of inches. I'm excited because Dak Prescott played a super game, man. He had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 29 for 44, over 300 yards, 370-some yards. I like the way this kid plays. And as long as Dak is in the game and being instinctively like he can be, like he's been the last 2 games, we're going to be in every game, Kyle.
You're saying Dak Prescott's not to blame for a loss for the Dallas Cowboys?
Not in my eyesight.
That's good. We got a lot of catching up to do then with Cowboys Nation and a lot of Cowboys fans out there. But first, we got to get to the highlights. First meeting between Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia, and we fast forward to the second quarter, all tied up at 7. Dak Prescott had to avoid the pressure all day long. This time he finds Jake Ferguson on the far side, a 40-yard pitch and catch, longest reception of Fergie's young career. That kept the drive alive for Dallas. It kept Dallas into the red zone. Dak Prescott finds Kevontae Turpin, diving catch, Dallas with a 14-7 advantage. But Philadelphia would fight their way back downfield. The brotherly shove, as they've dubbed it in Philadelphia, ties things up at 14 before Brandon Aubrey drills a 51-yarder, now setting the all-time best mark for consecutive field goal makes to begin a career. He's 19 of 19. Let's go into the third quarter. Dallas up by 3. Philadelphia had the ball first in the second half, and Jalen Hurts throws an absolute dime to Devontae Smith down the left sideline to put Philly up.
Oh, nice double move right there, man. Wow. Bland was there, great coverage, but it's just a better throwing catch.
You know, if Devontae Smith wanted a touchdown grab, A.J. Brown's going to want his fill as well. Makes a move on to Ron Bland, and he slides into the end zone to make an 11-point Philly lead.
Yeah, he crossed the formation back on the back door, man. Hit on brakes, turned it up. Powerful run.
Dallas with a chance for points on their next drive. 4th and goal. Pitch and catch. Dak Prescott finds Luke Schoonmaker for what is 6, or what was 6, because upon further review, the left knee is down, and the ball never crossed the goal line. They call this one back. Philly gets the football. They did go 3 and out, so Dallas has another opportunity to cut it to a 1-score lead. Dak rolls out, rolls right, finds Jalen Tolbert for his first NFL touchdown grab, and it's a 1-score game. Dallas wants to cut it to a field goal, so on the 2-point conversion, Dak rolls to his right. The mobility pays off. He reaches for the pylon, and he's in, Nate, but not so fast. He stepped out of bounds.
Oh, right here, man. Just inches. This is how this game was played the whole game, Kyle.
28-23. Philly with the ball back, able to try and put Dallas away. They throw it up on 3rd down and 3. An interesting play call from Nick Sirianni. It's incomplete to A.J. Brown on the near side, and Dallas gets the ball back. They did not score initially, but they did get it back because there was so much time left on the clock. So with 40 seconds left, Dak downfield looking for Michael Gallup, and the PI is called. The spot penalty gives Dallas one more chance. With under 10 seconds to play, Dak rolls out, throws it over the middle. It's complete to CeeDee Lamb, but he's short of the goal line by 5 yards. Gang tackling pays off for the Philadelphia defense, and the Eagles come out on top in this one, 28-23 the final score, as Dallas just needed one more play. They did not get it. They fall to 5-3 on the season, and the Eagles have an NFL leading 8-1 record. They go into their bye week. Dallas will face New York next week. But when we come back here on Cowboys Game Night, we hear from Dak Prescott. He actually had a really nice game. We're going to talk about it when we come back. Is that right or wrong to point fingers at Dak Prescott? He's the leader. He's built for it. But does he deserve it when we come back?
This segment is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Make every day game day with Dallas Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery. Play today for your chance to win big.
During his career while playing in Philadelphia, Dak Prescott now has 10 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, but he does end up on the losing side of things in Philly this time around. Here's what he had to say following the loss.
Yeah, you said it. It's a game of inches. It's why you got to love this game. It's tough. It's tough to win. We fought our asses off. Obviously, they did. Great NFC East matchup. They came out with it tonight. But as you just said, an inch or two on one of those 3 plays, and we could be talking about a different outcome. So, but they got this one. Sucks. We're gonna take it. We're gonna move forward and use the fight, use a lot of the success. A lot of good things came out of this game despite the loss. On the road, division game, great opponent they are, success that they've had in their environment. As I said, it sucks in the moment, but a lot of good we can take from this and use as we keep going.
Dak talks with ESPN, CD Lamb and what he's been able to do these last few weeks. You've told us before it's about the work you guys have all put in. But is there anything above and beyond that where you guys just feel like you're locked in with each other?
I mean, it goes back to the work. It goes back to the chemistry, the trust. A lot of guys put in work in the offseason. There's many days where it was just me and CD, to be honest with you. So, I mean, and when that happens, there becomes, communication, a chance to talk, a chance to just get on the same page. And as I said last week and before, I mean, you got to credit Mike, Shoddy, those guys for the designs and putting him in favorable matchups. And then, obviously, that's just CD Lamb being CD Lamb, being a big-time player. Some run after catch, making big-time catches, and wanting the ball, wanting to be in those positions, wanting to be in those situations, as we talked about probably a month ago, right, from the frustration. And that's where that came from, is he knows what he can bring to this team. He knows what he can do with the ball in his hand, and it's just been consecutive weeks now that he's continued to show that, and don't expect anything to change.
You get down to the 6 on that last drive. After starting at the 15, what's going through your mind? Because you get down there pretty quickly.
Sure, we're going to win. I mean, at no point in my mind throughout that game did I think anything different. Obviously, it sucked in the first possession, or that second to last possession, not converting that 4th down, but having tons of trust in our defense. They go out there and they do what they need to do, get us the ball back, and with under a minute left, still got trust that we're going to go out there and we're going to trust and faith just in our guys and what the work that we've put in, that we're going to get it done. And yeah, we got close. We got close. We're doing things the right way. We just got an inch here, an inch there, make that difference, and we'll find a way to gain that.
I like the way that Dak Prescott put that at the end. An inch here, an inch there, and this could be a completely different result for the Cowboys. As we take a look at the offensive stats, they put up 406 yards on a really good Philadelphia defense. And we talked about how Dak Prescott was under pressure. We saw during the highlights, Nate, that he was mobile, worked out of the pressure, and it worked to his favor quite a bit. What were your thoughts on how Dak played?
Man, I'm excited, and I said this 2 weeks ago, and I'll say it over and over. As long as Dak be Dak and he plays instinctively like he does the last 3 games, we're going to be in every game. Now, what we need from the guys around him is to feel that pain of being an inch short here, an inch short there. When you feel that pain, you will not let it happen again. You will do what it takes off the field during practices and doing film study to make sure it don't happen again.
For those being critical of Dak Prescott, I just have one thing to say. Dallas is not in that game to the final play without Dak Prescott at quarterback. That's plain and simple. He helped you get into that position. Didn't come out on top, but there's still plenty of games left to be played down the stretch. Sometimes they just don't go your way. When we come back, though, we hear from Micah Parsons. How did he feel the defense played against Jalen Hurts in the Philadelphia offense? More Cowboys Game Night coming up right after this.
This segment was brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Make every day game day with Dallas Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery. Play today for your chance to win big.
Micah Parsons finishes with 1.5 sacks on the loss against Philadelphia. 28-23 was the final, but did Micah Parsons believe Dallas did enough defensively to get the job done? Here's his thoughts following the game.
Like I always tell you guys, the margin of penalties and errors is so slim. I mean, we step out on the goal line, knee hits the ground before the goal line. Crucial penalties on drives that, we should have got off the field. It's a hard league to win in, and when you kind of beat yourselves on certain things and other factors don't help, it really hurts. So, I mean, we could take away the game that there was a chance we could have won. Either way you look at it, it was a close game. It was 50-50 toss-up. We had a chance to win there at the end, but we didn't. So we got to get back to the drawing board and get ready for next week.
How do you feel like yourself defensively, and you got 3 stops late to get the team a chance again, but just kind of put yourself in the hole with that third quarter defense?
Yeah, I mean, what was it, 2 defensive pass interferences on 1 drive? I mean, I think you would chalk that up as a very good day when we hold that Eagles power offense, who's been throwing for 300 and whatever, to Jalen Hurts 180 yards, less than 300 total yards. I mean, you could say we won. I feel like we did a great job, but there was times in the game where, it didn't turn our way.
I feel like these are just 2 really good teams, and that's going to happen when you have 2.
Yeah, that's exactly what I know. There's some penalties they wish they could get back, and, that helped us get down the field and things like that. But when you have a clash like that, Eagles-Cowboys, there's nothing like it, Exactly. You learn what we messed up on, what we can learn from, how we did ourselves, but we're gonna see them again. That's the enjoyable part. A team like the 49ers and we won't see them again, but we got a chance to get our redemption and at home where we've been pretty dominant, so it'll be exciting.
Mike, how much confidence did you guys have going into this game, and does this result change that at all, elevate it?
I mean, I feel like we got even more confidence now. I feel like everybody had us out and everyone was praising this Eagles team. Obviously, we gave them their best fit, and I'm not even going to spit fuel on the fire. We'll see them again in 4 weeks.
Micah Parsons talking about the defensive performance. Here are the statistics. They did not force a turnover, though. No takeaways for the Dallas defense in the 28-23 loss against Philadelphia. Nate, when you look back at the defensive performance, what did they do right, and what can they build on, just like what Micah Parsons was just talking about?
They kept them around 100 yards rushing, 4.9 average per play yards. So when you do that right there, keep a team under 6. You kept them up under 300 yards. You missed a couple of turnovers just by inches. This team is ready, man. Now, what you don't worry about is seeing them in 4 weeks. What you worry about is what's next before you, and that's the New York Giants. This kid is on there. They understands now from what they were against the 49ers to what they are today. It is some positives there. It's that thing about inches, and all they got to do is kick the door in now.
When you think about just a couple of those opportunities on the fumbles, the possible stops short of the goal line, the brotherly shoves, I mean, there were multiple plays in this game that were decided by just a matter of inches. Is that frustrating from a defensive standpoint when you were just that close? You got your job done in multiple other areas, but you couldn't get it done on the scoreboard.
Yes, definitely. All you got to do is just take away a couple of those third downs and put them in your favor, and you should be okay going forward.
Now, we've got plenty more to talk about with the defense, but also on the offensive line. How did the offensive line fare against this front seven from Philadelphia? We hear from Tyler Smith when we come back. Cowboys game night back here at the Star in Frisco. Let's hear from Tyler Smith following the loss to Philadelphia, as the offensive line had their ups and they had their downs against the Eagles.
You guys are that close. Does it make it even more frustrating? Game of inches, man.
I mean, it's heartbreaking. I can't lie to you. Like, obviously not the result we wanted. Felt like, we were right on the cusp of, pulling through the way we needed to. But it's just, I mean, it's the little things. It's the details that just are really important when it comes down to crunch time like that. But we'll be back. We'll be better.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like we did pretty good. I can speak for myself. I felt like the end there I had a breakdown in our final drive that just can't happen. Then they called me for a false start. I felt like it was ticky-tack, but I'm not gonna make excuses and say anything. You know, it is what it is. But that's just something I got to be better at. That's something I gotta improve on because, you know, we can't have that. Especially if we want to win a championship, we just can't have it.
Down by 11, start the fourth quarter. What was the confidence level of this group that you guys could come back and win this game?
I mean, extremely high. Like we know who we are. We know what we're capable of, and we knew it was just a matter of us seizing a moment, just seizing everything that was in front of us. And you know, unfortunately, we didn't get the result we wanted, but you know, I'm confident that, you know, we're going to respond the right way. I'm absolutely certain in that. I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think we showed today that we can contend with anybody, absolutely anybody. Like, we are part of that upper echelon. It's just going to be a matter of tightening up the small things, just, you know, seizing the moments that we got to seize and, you know, doing what we got to do. So we'll be back and we'll be better.
We will be back, says Tyler Smith. And from offensive lineman to Nate Newton, offensive lineman, how do you feel like they did today in the face of really one of the best front sevens in football?
A lot of times they handle their business. Dak helped them handle their business by moving around well. They took care of things up until just the last moments of the game. Terrence Steele, I'm not going to judge. He's coming off of ACL, but he did not have one of his finer days. We needed a little bit better day from him because he gave two crucial sacks that kind of turned the game a little bit.
It wasn't the cleanest game from the offensive line, but I will give credit. It was sloppy in the second quarter. They righted the ship. They gave Dallas an opportunity late, but like you said, when they got to the later points of the game, they just didn't get it done.
Yes, and I agree with you 100%. These guys, this young fella here, Smith, said they're going to clean up those little things, and I believe in Coach Mike Solari and him. I trust as offensive line coach. He's going to help them clean that up, and as the games go on, they'll get better and better.
And that is the case as the games go on. The Cowboys are going to have to make up a bit of a deficit in the NFC East. What is the impact on the division with a loss like this? And what's next for the Dallas Cowboys? We wrap up Cowboys game night when we come back right after this.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night was presented by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Cowboys upended in Philly, 28-23. They fall in Week 9 of the NFL season. Long way to go in the season, but right now Philadelphia holds a 2.5-game lead in the NFC East. Dallas can get a game back in Week 10 with a win over the New York Giants. Philadelphia off to their bye week as we speak. Alongside Nate Newton, I'm Kyle Youmans, wrapping up Cowboys Game Night. Nate, what is the number one thing you want to see for the Cowboys to rebound going into this matchup?
Just clean up the small things. All the way from the 49ers game, the big gash we took right there. Now you see a smaller one with Philadelphia. It just was the small things. Pay attention to the small details. Where you're at, how you run your routes, how you release the ball, how a defensive player tackles someone. Just the small things, and this team should be okay.
Who needs to rebound the best going into the Giants game?
It's going to have to be our offensive line. We're going to have to give Dak a little bit better help. We're going to have to get that running game going to get Tony Pollard a little bit more help.
Cowboys have now lost 4 of their last 5 in Philadelphia. They will see Philly again December 10th at home on Sunday Night Football against the Eagles at AT&T Stadium. That one will be fun. Nate and I will be out at AT&T Stadium this upcoming week for the Cowboys and the Giants. You can catch us on Cowboys pregame live, 2 p.m. Central Time, outside in the AT&T East Plaza. We'll see you there, Cowboys Nation. The Cowboys fall in this one, though. 28-23, the final score from Lincoln Financial Field. For Nate Newton and our entire crew, I'm Kyle Youmans. So long from Frisco.